All right, well, I'm here with the Aussie men's team, or most of the Aussie men's team. We've got Barry, Keem, Dion and Gary. How are you, boys?
Good.
Yeah,
Brendan.
Brendan.
Yeah. I'll start with you, Barry. You had a great run first up last year in Winshoten.
Yep.
You ran just over 7 hours there. Obviously, probably a little disappointed that you didn't crack the 7. That's a big goal this year, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Last year, I guess my first Aussie team for 100k, so I was really happy to get on the team and enjoy the experience, whereas this year I had the experience last year and really looking to put in a much stronger performance and definitely wipe seven hours off the record for sure.
Yeah, so given that's your kind of a bit more experience under your belt now at this level, what type of changes have you implemented in your training and your preparation up to this race?
I just think an extra year preparing for these longer events. I came from a shorter background where marathon was more the focus, and then probably 18 months ago decided to move into ultras, and probably last year I was a little bit inexperienced and probably overestimated how quick I could run, and then this year just more focused on getting lots more kilometres in, especially in the last 12 weeks, and just getting a lot stronger. And I definitely think I'll be better off for the back half of the race where it really counts over 100k.
Yeah, great. And Gary, last year, mate, you probably left a little disappointed. Left Winshoten, like you left something out there. Tell us about your prep this year and what you've been doing in the lead up.
This year's just been, early part of the year was just about being consistent and just rolling through training. There was no specific training for this in the first half of the year. It was just nice, good kilometres under the belt, work on speed, building into Sydney Marathon, which I had a pleasant result. And just probably since about July as well, just throwing in a extra long 45-50k run just to get a bit of strength into the legs.
Yeah. So a lot of people might think ultra runners, run massive amount of kilometres or do massive long runs, but you probably are someone that doesn't do that kind of training. You focus a lot on speed still, and
yeah, still a lot of speed. Probably a reason 44. I trying to get my marathon time down this year, but with that I can't do big bulks of like 140, 150. And also my lifestyle and work, I'm on my feet a lot as well, so I have to take that into consideration. But this year I've probably been averaging 80, 90 consistently, probably 90% of the year.
Yeah. And Dion, anyone that follows Strava back home would know that you don't mind knocking out the miles. You've trained exceptionally well for this event, and you've had some great lead-in events as well. Tell the viewers at home just kind of like what your 2016 has looked like this year leading up to this.
Yeah, it's been a pretty busy year in terms of events. Like I've done, started with the 2 days, the Trail Championships earlier this year, and then did my 100-kilometre qualifier. And then from then I dropped back and focused solely on the marathons and getting the speed back, getting strong in the legs. And then since July it's pretty much been all focused on long runs, hovering around the 200 Ks a week. My longest run was only 50k, so just backing up 2 long runs in a row. But yeah, I haven't been doing like the huge, massive individual long run. It's just been collectively a strong session.
What do you feel that kind of gives you, going into a 100k race, just having the consistent large volume weeks?
You just get to the stage where your body gets used to running. A 50k run doesn't seem very stressful, it seems quite easy. And then having the strength where you've obviously done your long run, and then you might do another long run the next day, and a bit more speed orientated where you've progressed into a faster threshold. You know that when you get to the race that you can still sustain a good speed after a long run. So I think that's a good way to attack the run.
Yeah, I think that's the key to a successful 100k. It's that last quarter of the race. you can run a fast marathon, and some people will kick on into the third quarter, but it really is the cream that rises to the top in the last quarter. If they're able to sustain the pace that they've, been doing for the first, say, 70 kilometres, they're usually the guys that, obviously succeed. So
yeah,
I can see how that kind of training would really
yeah,
benefit.
there's definitely a lot of time to be lost. You can lose a lot more time than what you can gain if you go out too hard. So if you sort of stick to a good pace and then settle down and settle in and manage to sustain your pace, and you're not going to lose as much time as what you think you might be gaining when you might just actually lose it.
Yeah, and here we are in Spain, Barry. How do you pronounce the town, mate? Don't laugh, boys. I'll ask you next.
I've got absolutely no idea, but it's been great so far. Really good team atmosphere.
Yeah.
Lovely place to run 100k, and I think most of the teams having a nice holiday in Spain afterwards. So that's something for all of us to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. And Gary, what do you think of the course? We've run it together as a group.
Nice course, nice and flat, scenic. A few, good points to take your mind off what's happening, with the body, so you can just chill out for a bit. And I think Esplanade's 3Ks along the water, so that'll be nice 10 times around.
What do you think the benefits of a 10k loop can give in a 100
Countdown:
k's?
10, 9, 8, 7.
And 2 aid stations obviously give you plenty of opportunities.
There's plenty of points along the course as well. I think we're all probably going to have a stage where the mind's going to be playing tricks on us, and once we've run the course and we know the course, so we can just pick little points along the course. It's like, all right, get to that point, feeling good, check in with the body, and then get to the next point. So.
And Dion, you've obviously kind of let us in a bit of insight into your race plan. You're going to have a steady kind of build into the race.
Yeah. Trying not to get sucked in with the faster runners, and hopefully pick up some of the runners that have gone out too hard and try and pick them up, and then try and use that positive energy to keep myself going as well.
Yeah, and there will be a lot of carnage. I've seen it done. I've seen it a million times. And Barry, you've been in a few Australian teams before, mountain running and that kind of thing. It can be daunting sitting at the breakfast table and looking over your shoulder and seeing the South African men's team, which are nearly all previous Comrades winners, and you hear talk about them trying to break the world record tomorrow. How do you stay composed and focused on your own race?
Well, I think 100k you have to run your own race. You can't get caught up in looking at the entry list and seeing there's 50 guys with a faster PB than you. It's what happens on Sunday. So as you said, it's going to be hot from the start, and there's going to be plenty of carnage, and we've got a really good team, and if we all work together, and the course is really good in terms of we switch back on each other a lot, so a yell as we go past, a high five is going to keep spirits high, and I'm sure we can all get really good individual results and get a really good team result for Australia.
Yeah, for sure. And Gary, just tell the listeners at home how much this Aussie vest means to you.
Heaps. Obviously last year, putting that green and gold singlet on, or the Australian jersey on, I was having a rough race, but 55 k's in, I just looked down, looked at Australia across the singlet, and it's like, well, no, you can't step off this one, you can't quit. You've got to keep going, you're running for your country. And to be selected a second time, and I'm going to throw in there at the age of 44. It is pretty special, and this time I'm more relaxed about it because I've done it once. I've realised where I went wrong, but this time, I think it's even more special to get it the second time and run smart this time.
And Dion, what about you? What does it mean to have your first Aussie singlet on? First of many, I may add. I suspect.
Yeah, it's definitely a great privilege to be selected to run for my country. I'm very, I hold a lot of pride for the country that I live in. There's great opportunities, there's great people, and to be selected to do something I love for my country is a great honour. Something that I'll look forward to doing many times over, hopefully.
And Barry, a little message for people at home who might think I could never reach, that level. A bit of an encouragement for anyone.
I think there's plenty of opportunity, and as Gary's a perfect example. He's 44, so.
And Tia.
Yeah, Tia and Tia as well. Age is no real barrier, especially with ultra running. We hopefully in the future will pick really strong and deep teams, so you don't have to necessarily be the number one in Australia to make a team. You can be 4th, 5th and be on the improve and get an Aussie vest, and then next year you might even take a step forward from there. So plenty of opportunity, and I've really, since coming across to ultra running, loved the atmosphere, loved the team environment, and I would say if you even got a sniff of making a team, pursue it, because it's a great experience.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks very much, boys. It's an honour to run with you guys tomorrow, and I wish you all the best in your race.
Likewise, Brendan.
Thanks, boys.